Hey, what's up, Mr. Sutter here. Today we're going to be going over questions from part 3 of the final exam review. Let's get started. All right, question 1. Sound will not travel in a solid, liquid, vacuum, or gas. Right, the correct answer is vacuum. Uh, Sound cannot travel without a medium. That's the thing that the sound moves through. So either a solid, liquid, or a gas. A vacuum is the absence of a medium. That's why when you're in space, the person in the space shuttle could hear, like, for example, if something were to bump into the ship, the person inside the ship could hear that, but the person outside the ship can't hear it because there's nothing to carry the actual sound. Okay, question 2. The diagram below shows the relative wavelengths for several types of electromagnetic energy. Which type of electromagnetic energy has a shorter wavelength than ultraviolet waves? Is it A, visible light, B, microwaves, C, X-rays, or D, infrared light? So for this one, we're looking for a type of wave that has a shorter wavelength than ultraviolet waves. So the first thing we want to do is find ultraviolet waves, and now we want one with a shorter wavelength. So we have longer wavelengths on the left, shorter wavelengths on the right. We want one that's shorter than ultraviolet, so we have two choices, either X-rays or gamma rays, because they're on the shorter side and they're on the opposite side of ultraviolet, so they're either X-rays or gamma rays. Do we have gamma rays? They would be the shortest. No, but we do have the correct choice, C, X-rays. Right? The diagram shows that X-rays have a shorter wavelength than the infrared waves. All right, question 3. Use the formula below to answer the following question. What is the average speed of a car which travels 200 kilometers in 4 hours? Our formula for average speed is the distance traveled divided by time. Is it A, 5 kilometers per hour, B, 50 kilometers per hour, C, 20 kilometers per hour, or D, 25 kilometers per hour? Right, the correct answer is 50 kilometers per hour. Remember, our formula is distance divided by time is equal to our speed. We traveled 200 kilometers, that's our distance, divided by our time. It was 4 hours. 200 kilometers divided by 4 hours is 50 kilometers per every hour. Right, question 4. Sand and iron particles that are similar in size and color are mixed together in a beaker. What would be the best method of separating the particles? Is it A, using tweezers to separate them, B, using a magnet to separate them, C, adding water to the mixture, or D, pouring the mixture into a filter? Right, the correct answer is B, use a magnet to separate them. So iron is a metal that can be easily magnetized and pulled out of a mixture. Below we have a picture of just that kind of setup where we have, except the sand is not the same color as the iron particles here. When you mix the sand and the iron, the magnet will readily pull the iron out of the sand. So using tweezers would be really hard, adding water wouldn't do anything, and a filter really wouldn't help us if the iron and sand particles were similar in size. Right, question 5. The amount of matter in an object is called its A, inertia, B, mass, C, force, or D, balance. Right, the correct answer is B, mass. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. That's the definition of mass. Remember, our mass is the total amount of matter that makes up the object, and our mass never changes. So the mass of this package on Earth is 10 kilograms, mass on the moon is 10 kilograms, and the mass in space is 10 kilograms. The weight changes, but your mass, the amount of stuff that makes up an object, never changes. Right, 6. Energy of motion is known as A, potential energy, B, thermal energy, or C, kinetic energy. Right, the correct answer is C, kinetic energy. An object which is moving has kinetic energy. So on the side, we have an object with potential energy as stored energy. It's not moving, it's energy of position. So right now, this ball over on the left has a potential to have a moving energy, but it's not moving, so it has potential. The kinetic energy, the ball is moving, so it has kinetic energy, the energy of movement. Right, question 7. A static charge is created by the buildup of what type of particle on an object surface? Is it A, protons, B, electrons, C, positrons, or D, neutrons? Right, the correct answer is B, electron. A static charge is the buildup of electrons on the surface of an object. So when you walk across a floor, all objects have protons and electrons, but electrons are the only ones that move. Now, sometimes when you walk across a surface, electrons from the surface that you're walking on will get transferred to you, and that's how you end up getting statically charged. When you touch a doorknob, you get shocked because those electrons then escape from you. But having that static charge is the buildup of those electrons on you. Protons and neutrons do not move. It's only the electrons that move, and they're what cause our static charge to be created. Right? Question 8. The diagram represents a person pushing a 50-kilogram box up a ramp. What two simple machines are being used in this diagram? Are they A, an inclined plane and a pulley, B, an inclined plane and a wheel and axle, C, a lever and a pulley, or D, lever and a wheel and axle? All right, the correct answer is B, inclined plane and wheel and axle. The inclined plane and wheel and axle are the two types of simple machines being used in this diagram. The ramp is the inclined plane, and the wheels on the box are the wheel and axle. Right, so this is an inclined plane. It's basically, it looks like a triangle. It makes it easier to roll things up. And here's my wheel and axle. The axle is this cylindrical piece here, and the wheel is what goes around the axle here. Right, so we have a wheel and axle in terms of wheels, an inclined plane for the ramp. All right, question 9. Which resource is considered non-renewable? Is it A, wind power, B, solar power, C, moving water, or D, fossil fuels? Right, the correct answer is D, fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are non-renewable resources such as oil, coal, and natural gas that take millions of years to form. Right, so wind power, solar power, moving water are all resources that can be renewed. It doesn't take a very long time to regain those resources. However, fossil fuels like petroleum and natural gas, it took 300 to 400 million years ago for them to turn into these little sea critters that died and became a type of their bodies became a type of stored energy for them to turn from that into our oil and natural gas deposits now. So they are considered non-renewable because we can't get them back until a very, very long period of time has passed. All right, question 10. A greenhouse gas is warm because it converts A, light energy to heat energy, B, heat energy to light energy, or C, chemical energy to heat energy. Right, the correct answer is A, light energy to heat energy. A greenhouse traps light energy from the sun and converts it into heat energy. So here's my sun up top. The sun sends its rays into the greenhouse. The greenhouse can actually trap some of that energy inside of it in terms of infrared waves. Those are the ones that keep you warm. And they can trap them as heat energy inside of the greenhouse, making it very, very warm. All right, that's going to wrap it up for part 3 of the final exam review. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. Other than that, good luck studying, and thanks for watching.